And welcome back to our Meet the Member series here with Greater Culture CrossFit. Today, I'm joined by one of our members, Micah Wood, who's been with us pretty much from the get-go here since we've been in the nice big space. And I'm excited to talk to Mike a little bit, learn a little bit more about his story and what led him to walk into a CrossFit gym and what his experiences have been like over the last number of months here. So, Micah, tell us, what originally led you to want to walk in and try out CrossFit?
So last year, I wanted to lose some weight, and I knew kind of how to get there with watching what I eat and trying to exercise more. But then eventually, I started getting bored with the walks, and yeah, I mean, I could go to a gym, but I didn't really know what I was doing, so I kind of wanted someone there to kind of coach me on what to do and how to do it, and kind of looking at the differences between bodybuilders and runners. CrossFit was kind of like a sweet spot in the middle. So I was like, okay, let's try that out.
Yeah, I love it. And so you mentioned that you started to kind of look at some different ways to try and lose some weight. And so what were some of the things that you initially had started to do on sort of that fitness journey of figuring out, hey, how do I go about losing a little bit of weight and seeing what that process is like?
Um, well, for me, it's more like just counting calories.
Hmm.
Um, that- I've done that before, so it's something I was kind of comfortable with, and so that's what I just kind of needed to see what I needed to be consuming every day. And then I wasn't really doing any physical activities, so I was like, okay, well, walking is just the easiest thing I can do. That's what I found I had time for while I was at work. So that's what kind of got the jump started.
Yeah, I know nutrition being one of the most important things that we can focus on for just overall health and fitness, especially moving us in a certain direction with weight. And then you mentioned that walking is a great way to just get some extra movement. What do you get to do for a living? Because I know with some folks in their jobs and things like that, it can be really tough to find time to go to a gym or to put some of that energy and effort into it. So, what do you get to do each day? Uh,
It's mostly drive, and then drive from different job sites, working on fuel tanks. So the job can be very demanding, but like recently it's been mostly driving. So that's kind of hit like a stop losing weight because I didn't realize how fewer steps I was taking every day. And so once I started, watching that and kind of keeping on track, I started making more progress. But yeah, so when I first started CrossFit, I was delivering propane with trucking. And that was one of those things where I was like, I don't have time to work out or do anything because I can start at 4 o'clock in the morning and then sometimes I'm getting off till like 6 o'clock. It was one of those times where I just realized I was like, well, it takes me an hour to unload this product, so I'm just gonna start walking in circles around the truck. And yeah, that's what I don't know, kind of got me jump started on it.
Yeah, I love that. Just figuring out what you can do with where you're at. And for some folks, that could be just getting some walking in or walking up some steps or whatever that might be, especially when the job is really demanding, like you said. And, for your job with being able to drive and things like that, it's not necessarily the most physically demanding either. So you're like, man, I wish I could move more or be more involved when I'm at work. Not always the case, but fortunately, you're able to then find some time for that and find a CrossFit gym. So tell us, what was it like when you first walked into a CrossFit gym and jumped into some of the group classes there?
I think first walking in, I would look at the workouts and I was like, yeah, there's no way I can do any of that. And then just kind of finding the modifications and talking to coaches has been a huge help. I know, like when I first started, like I couldn't do burpees. Like all I could really do is get down to a plank and then step out of it. And like part of it is a little embarrassing, but at the same time, it was like since I have stuck with it, kind of seeing the progress, like small changes, just being able to do little things a little bit more than I was able to do last time. But, like the first time walking in there, yeah, I was very intimidated looking at the classes, but then it was also the reason I wanted there to have the coaches. Hey, you don't have to do that. We can do this. And kind of, not gonna say easier ways, but more capable ways of doing something.
Yeah, absolutely. I think That's such a relatable experience for a lot of people. Of we are interested in improving health and fitness. So you look to a group class or a coach to help you out, and then you walk in there, and all of a sudden you realize you're surrounded by a variety of other people. And I think that's one thing I do love about CrossFit is there's all different types of people, all different heights and weights and et cetera. And everybody's trying to figure out and navigate how they can do the best workout for themselves. And a coach can be really helpful for that. And I know you mentioned too, when you first started, it feels like there's a lot of things that maybe you're not able to do as well as you'd like. And now seeing where you're at, it's really fun to see the weights you're moving and the workouts that you're doing and the way that you're completing them. So talk to us a little bit about where you're at now compared to where you started. Maybe even give us a little sense of how long have you been at it here of going to class consistently and focusing on your nutrition and focusing on getting into those group classes and sort of what you've seen over that time period.
So I started, well, like last January was, I guess, maybe January, when I
Mm-hmm.
decided to start losing weight. And I just took the number, like, hey, I gotta lose 100 pounds. I don't know why that number, but like, I just
It's a
knew
nice, clean, round number.
that. Sure. But like, I knew I had been that small before. And I'm 90 pounds down. So it's getting close.
Yeah.
But yeah. So seeing the progress of that has been great. And then there's times where I kind of surprise myself, or I don't know, like I kind of imagine like, hey, when I was going to get toes to the bar, I was probably going to have to lose 100+ pounds and stuff to do that. And then I was able to hit those like a couple months ago. And I was like, and I wasn't even expecting to do it. And I was surprised, and I was like, oh, okay. And I still struggle with them, but it's something. It's really cool being able to know like I was nowhere close to that when I started, and like year and a half later, like I'm I'm there. I can do it, and there's other things I still want to improve on, but trying to take my time with it, and yeah. So it is nice seeing those, like, there's small changes or abilities to do something just a little bit easier that I've enjoyed seeing. And it's as simple as like, being able to do a push up with the burpees and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's amazing to think, when you first walked in, working through a plank version of a burpee to now 90 pounds later and a variety of strength improvements as well as other improvements, being able to do toe to bar, being able to lift the barbell with the weights. That's fun to see how strong you are. Can you speak to how maybe you've seen a difference even outside the gym? Because I think inside the gym, it's always super fun to be able to lift heavier weights or to do new movements like a toe to bar or like a burpee. What have you noticed in terms of what life is like outside of the gym now, 90 pounds down?
I have to do shopping more. I have to get different clothes, which is not a bad thing. But like it's made aspects of my job easier, because like I'm still in trucking, so like getting in and out of trucks and connecting to trailers where tasks would be difficult, it's become easier. Like stepping up on trailers, and it's like nothing major, but it's just like those little things.
Yeah, it is funny how the little things add up, and I know you've had opportunities to get involved with some sports outside of the gym and things like that, and being able to take advantage of some of those things is always fun as well. So it's fun to see the changes in the gym, and then notice how some of those impact you outside the gym. And so, along with that, you've been with it now, like you said, for over a year and a half. So, what are some of your favorite things about being a member and about being part of the CrossFit community?
Definitely part of the community. That's been great. I was trying to think the other day of like kind of what motivates me going, and I was like, well, I don't like I wake up, I have to pull myself out of bed, and like I don't listen to anything or do anything. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll go to the gym now. Um, but I kind of want to see people there. It's part of like my favorite part of the day. It kind of helps me get started, gets going. So there's that, and then competing against Matt with trying to get the most classes. He started that, so
Yeah. It's always fun to have friendly competition. against other folks in the gym. And like you said, part of the 5:15 a.m. crew is staple at pretty much every class, and a couple other folks as well. And so we keep track of attendance and how often people are coming and who can write their name on the boards first or who hits those first thresholds. And so it's been fun to see the battle of making sure you're signing in for class and who can put their name on the board. And I think that's a big part of it as well, is that community aspect where it's not easy waking up early in the morning and think about going to a gym. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold, sometimes you're tired, but you do have a group of people there waiting for you and a coach. And so that certainly helps make things a little bit better. So it is, I think, a great and a way that a lot of people appreciate that. So I've got a couple quick hitter questions for you here to get a little sense of what some of your favorite and least favorite things are. So over a year and a half now, a lot of experiences, a lot of different movements. What would you say is your favorite movement? Or if you see it programmed, you get excited?
I like the bench press, just because I do kind of see that as one of like the parts I do want to build on. So I'm excited when I see that, and then but probably like shoulder presses, anything like kind of overhead, unless it's like an overhead squat. But yeah, working on shoulders.
Yeah, anything barbell related pressing. I know today we got to do a little heavy 1-rep bench press. Always involved with putting barbells over the head with shoulder stuff. So those are two good movements. So flip it then. What would you say is your least favorite movement or maybe even piece of equipment when you see it programmed?
The skier for sure.
Oh.
I just haven't really mastered that technique. Like, no matter how much effort I give it, I can't seem to really improve it or speed up.
Which is funny because being a tall guy, usually that's a big advantage. And on the rower, you're probably, second to none in terms of what you're able to pull and consistently pull on the rower. So usually that translates well to the skier. So I have to keep working on that.
Not for me. Like I do fine with the row, but for some reason I just can't.
Yeah.
I need to practice some more, but we'll see.
All right. So next question for you. If you were DJ for the class, what type of music would you play for the workout? Or what's your favorite type of music to work out to?
I like rap mostly to work out to. If not that, probably heavy metal, something around there.
That's a scary route to go down. Some people love the heavy metal stuff. We have some metal heads in the gym, but all of a sudden you throw that on and certain songs come on and all of a sudden everybody's looking at each other like, what is going on? But yeah, I like rap is close to my heart as well when it comes to working out. All right, last one for you here. So all different types and styles of workouts within CrossFit. Are you somebody who prefers long workouts or short workouts?
Longer workouts. It seems like you have more time to kind of figure out your groove and your pace. And then the short ones, it's just like by the time you're like, I figured it out, you only got like one more round left. And you're like, okay, well, it took me this long. So I don't know. I just find it a little bit easier to pace myself with the longer workouts.
Yeah, absolutely. Those long ones settle in a little bit more, kind of find that pace, hang out there. You get used to some of those movements. The short ones, you just know it's going to be intense. It's going to probably hurt a little bit. They're over before sometimes they even begin. So yeah, long workouts. Nice. Well, Micah, thanks for jumping on here, sharing a little bit about yourself and your story. It's been really fun having you as a member and seeing you chase down the highest attended classes and how you battle it out with folks in the morning class. Excited to see how you keep progressing forward and I look forward to seeing you at the morning class soon.